Hey, Tony here, Random Adventures 2.0. Where are we at and what are we doing? Well, where we're at, and we're on top of a mountain. It's a rough road to get up here, but I wanted to do that for a reason, because I wanted to show you me getting up here, right here. You can see it's a rough road, but I wanted to show you a little bit of roughness and how this thing's operating. And what is this thing? Well, what we're doing, we're taking a look at this OUTFITR 2 e-bike bike rack that fits on a 2-inch hitch. And why do I have this on the back of the car? Because I got an e-bike. But no, I had a different one on the back of the car, and I was so frustrated with that thing because it scratched my e-bike. And when I read the email about taking a look at this, everything that I saw about it, it was going to eliminate that issue, and it also has a ramp. So let me show you that and show you all the features. We're going to load the bike back up. I took the bike off already so I can load it up and show you. All right, well, let's get to it. This is the OUTFITR 2 e-bike bike rack, and it is designed for the capacity of 200 pounds. Now, where I've got it set right now, this is in the mode where you're driving around, you don't have an e-bike, and how you get that drop down, there's a little pin right down here, and we're gonna go ahead and pull that and drop it down, but that's what it looks like when it's in the driving mode, when you don't have a bike on it. Alrighty, let me drop it down. So there's a cotter pin right here. You just wanna pull that out and then reach up here and grab it. Now, you can see it doesn't drop real fast, so right there. And then I always go ahead and put the pin back in so I don't lose it. It just slides right in here. Okay, there you have it. All right, so when this thing came in the box, it was very well packed, and it had a lot of cardboard in between all the components, and the instructions were a lot of pictures, but not many of them. And it went together very, very quickly. I only needed a couple tools. I think it was a 17, a 19, and a 24 millimeter wrench, and then a monkey wrench is what they recommended, is all you need to put together. And the bolts, they were fastened pretty much to where you had to put them. What do we have here, and why is it so unique? It is because of this ramp right here. So I had a stroke about 3 years ago. This arm still is very weak and doesn't move very fast. So when I found out that it had a ramp, man, that made a difference, because these e-bikes can be anywhere from 75 to 100 pounds. And like I said, this will has a capacity of 200 pounds, 100 for each bike. Or if one's heavier, yeah, you know, don't do math. But this ramp is very unique because it mounts right on the back. You just remove this pin, and you can let it drop because it is attached right here. So we're just gonna let that drop and then pull this out. It just fits right in the end. So you can see it's got a trough design meant to fit the tire. So it almost looks like a gutter, but this thing's solid. So this whole thing is a unique aluminum design. So it's not real heavy, but it's very sturdy. It's very, very sturdy. I was shocked at how sturdy it was, because I've been using it for a while now. You have these two tabs right here, and where they go is they secure right on the end here. So you can see they just snap right down in there, and it's very easy to move around and also remove once you're done loading the bike. All right, so that is on both sides. So one bike comes on this way and the other one comes the opposite way. There you have it. All right, so what are these right here? So this is a tire chalk. This is what's going to mount through your tire on the back, and the design for these is really cool. So I can't pull it this way, but you just put this strap in, and look at that. That just removes just like that. So you want to drop that down. Now this is a tire block. So we're going to slide this up this way. You just twist it and slide it, and then I'm not going to lock it down in place completely. I just turn that around and get it down, because when we run the bike up on here, you're going to see that the back tire is going to end up about here. You slide this, strap it in, lock her down, and there you have it. Back tire secure. Now on the front, you have this very well designed, it's bolted in with 4 bolts, 2 on either side, and another one of those straps. Remove it, put it down out of the way. And this is a tire trough. So when your front tire comes in, it's going to drop right in here. And there's a nice rubber pad here. So that's going to get strapped right there. But we'll do that. I'll show you that and explain it a little bit more. There's also this center brace right here. We're going to leave that down and out of the way. But what I did remove is the center brace. Now this thing is very unique. So once both the tires are mounted in there and secured, this is for the upright rod, but if you have a bike with the sidebar, this swivels the whole way around. So that is a 3-point contact and strap down, but this thing is amazing. All right, so this I generally want to put on first once the bike is up there, and then it'll hold it, and then I can secure the tires. All right, let's get the bike on. And so you just want to line up the front tire and just give it a push. Go over that little, ooh, my pedals hitting the thing, the one bar. But you can see that's so easy just to walk in. Now you're going to see it drop down in this trough. There you go. So once you have it in place, you just lift up this bar. Now, the reason you remove this is because it could get hung up on things, and it just much more easier. So then we will just tilt it back, get the strap unlinked here. And that's nice and tight. That's very secure right there. Now you can just take your time and work on the wheels. So for the back tire, we've got this block here. You just loosen it up and it slides forward. And you just want to secure that as tight as you can up against the tire. Give it a clockwise turn and then press down and lock it in place. And then send the strap through the wheel. And then once you pull it through the wheel, you can see this rubber guard here. So this is an extra guard. You just want to lay that over the rim, about where it goes. Push this end down through and give it a good tight pull. And then for the front tire, same design, everything. And these do swivel, so depending on the angle of your wheel. So I'm going to walk around this side, send our strap through. There you go. Adjust my rubber connection there so it doesn't scratch my bike. That was the most disappointing thing with the other rack. Is let me show you what the other rack did to my bike. While driving it, it was just enough that it wiggled, and look at that. That dug in deep on my bike, and that really ticked me off. Can I say ticked off? But I was very upset, right? Now this rack, one of the things that I noticed right away is that there's nothing close to the bike to scratch it. And I'll tell you what, if you got an e-bike and you know what you paid for it, you definitely don't want your bike rack to be scratching it up. And so far on this design, I've run this thing for a week, taking it on, taking it off, and it has worked like a champ. I haven't had any wobbling, so there is anti-wobble device in there. Now, the only thing you got left to do once you get it set up like that is put the ramp back on. So let me do that quick, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on this. I kind of almost already did, right? All right, hold on. So just like that, you get the ramp out, and it just hangs out right on the back there. So we'll put our pin back in, like I said, and I'll talk to you in a second. All right, there you have it. Nice and secure. Now, the e-bike is the Nomad X2. Amazing bike. That's my baby. It's got me to a lot of camping places. So I do camping videos and things like that. And with having a stroke, this e-bike has got me into a lot more places. And this rack is now invaluable to me. And the reason I say that is because I want to protect my investment of the bike, and I want to have this bike for a long time, and I only want it to get scratches when I fall. Hopefully I don't fall, but I don't want to have the rack hauling it to places, scratching up my bike. And OUTFITR has come up with an ingenious design, and I love the straps. I love everything. This center mount here that grips onto the bike. Now you can, let's say you've got a bar that comes across this way. This, because it swivels, you can attach it anywhere. I've got it attached like that, and it's worked great. And like I said, I've used that, had this thing on for at least a week now. Putting it together was very easy, got it into there, no problem at all. So yeah, and there is a cotter pin and a screw-in nut bolt on the hitch. Very easy to get undone if you want to pull the whole thing off and take it in and store it when you're not using it at all. So the only thing I noticed is that this piece right here, your ramp, it is going to wiggle, but they do provide a little bit of Velcro. I'm thinking that might be what that's for. There's 4 pieces of very strong Velcro. All as I've been doing is just running one Velcro strap right around the front here and putting it down and just securing that just so it doesn't wobble. It's not going to hurt anything. If it wobbles, it ain't coming out because it's got that very sturdy pin on it. All right, well, there is information about it down in the description, and go take a look at that. Go on over and you know, check out their other specs on it and stuff like that if you want to know more. But so far, this thing has been amazing, and I want to say again that they did send this to me, but I'll tell you what, I would give this an A+ in the Tony 2.0 approval for this bike rack. Oh, it's nice. All right. Also information about the Velotrek bike if you want to know more about that. All right. Well, thanks a lot for coming along, and we will see you on the next random adventure or review. All right. See ya.